So I'm 17, and I was wondering if there are some lessons or some things that can only be learned or grasped through suffering and great suffering, and if sometimes suffering can be a necessary thing to learn.
Well, in this retreat we have discussed about the nature of interbeing between suffering and happiness. And we know that we can learn a lot from suffering. Only against the background of suffering that we can recognize happiness. So each of us needs some amount of suffering in order to grow up, to cultivate our understanding and compassion. And to my experiences, when we suffer something, we should look deeply into that nature, the nature of that suffering, and recognize the positive things that are born from that suffering. This morning, Sister Dangiem and Brother Phap Dung spoke about the Colorado retreat. Because he was sick, he could not come to the retreat. And that caused a lot of disappointment, sadness, and even anger in the beginning of the retreat. But because of his absence, everyone did their best, the monastics and the lay people. And it turned out that is the best, that was the best retreat for many of them in the retreat. And everyone grew very quickly without that. So out of something negative, we can see born positive things. So let us not be afraid of suffering. Let us confront and hold suffering into our arms and look deeply. We will learn a lot. Understanding is first of all understanding suffering. And when we understand the suffering, we are no longer angry. We don't want to punish anymore. We have compassion. And with compassion, we can be a happy person. I remember when the time I met Martin Luther King for the first time. We met the first time in Chicago, and he came out against the war in Vietnam. And I met him last in Geneva in a conference called Passamentaris, Peace on Earth. He invited me up to his room for breakfast. I was caught in a press conference. I was late when I come up, and he kept breakfast hot for me. We discussed about Vietnam. We discussed about the suffering, discrimination, and so on. We also discussed about Sangha. He has the idea of the beloved community. It's very similar to the idea of Sangha building. We know a beloved community, a Sangha is crucial for our continuation. And I was able to tell him one thing. Martin, do you know, in Vietnam, the people think of you as a bodhisattva. I did not know that he will die, he will be assassinated a few months after. So it's a good thing that I could tell him that. And in the process of building a Sangha in the West, because I was forced into exile, I was aware that I'm doing that for Martin Luther King also, because his dream is the beloved community, and you are the beloved community, the refuge for many people to come.
My question, which may really be to myself, but maybe you can help me with, is why I seem to be the only living being I have ever encountered who does not deserve my own compassion.
But the Buddha offered a way out. He tells you that you are made only of non-you elements. So if you want to blame, you blame the non-you elements. But you don't want to do that. Because we are all your non-you element. You don't want to blame us. Because we, all of us, constitute the non-you element that make up you. So the sunshine, the air, the water, the ocean, the mountains, all of us have come together in order to make you, to help you manifest. You don't have a separate self. When you hate yourself, you hate all of us. You hate the mountain, the river, the sky. If something does not go well enough in us, we should mobilize the best in us to come and rearrange. And we can also profit from the help of the Sangha, of the people around us to do so. Because the seed of compassion, the seed of loving kindness is in you. And in Buddha's true love, we can embrace everyone. And when you embrace everyone, you embrace yourself. You do not exclude yourself. There is no separate self at all. It's like that person who tries to get out of the world. And if he knows that he is the world, he doesn't have any more that intention to get out. Because how can the world get out of the world? So if we realize the inside of no self, we know that we are made of non-us elements. And we'll be able to smile to all the non-self elements in us with compassion. There's no self to hate, to blame. This is because that is. This is like this because that is like that. And that is the teaching of the Buddha. And that dualistic thinking, feeling that we can have compassion for others, but we don't have compassion toward us. That also stems from the dualistic thinking. So the drastic way of the Buddha is to remove that way of thinking. You are us, you are the world. Whatever you do to you, you do to us. Whatever you do to us, you do to you. And this is a wonderful teaching. And it can remove all kinds of afflictions. Thank you.